G'day, welcome to CROC Rods. My name's Jake. Today I'm going to be making a mould of the first CROC rod body. It needs a lot of work. It's quite old. I believe it's from the 70s, maybe. That's what the bloke told me I bought it off. Needs a lot of work, smoothing out, milling, cutting, trimming. So let's get into it. I'll show you what I've been doing. That's the join line where the mould joined it. There's a few pits and stuff. But they left a big ridge. This body was never finished. So I'm getting rid of this ridge. Another mould line there, and then down the back. I'm going to be cleaning up all this dodginess. There's a few holes I'm going to fill. There's one here. There. I'm going to cut this lip off because it's just silly looking. Got the boot down there, it doesn't quite fit. And the dash. There's a bit of work. I'm probably going to trim off this bottom here. It's not necessary. It's definitely not on the big one over there that's hiding behind all that stuff. I might trim this part off down to here. Eventually I'll be making chassis for these. There's another hole. And smoothing the whole thing out. So get rid of these, get rid of this bump. Get rid of this windshield, that looks terrible. Door handles, get rid of those. And just have it sleek. But for now, I'm going to make a copy of this one. And then I can start modifying it for a nice, cleaner look. So I'll get back to sanding. Got it all sanded. All nice and smooth now. I just realised on this body it's missing a line. It goes down here up to here. It's like on this one. So it's got this body line. So I'm gonna have to put that on here. This section is a little long. So I could make a longer boot lid to get it more into scale. I'm going to cut this bit off and pretty much start again on that, because that is, I don't know what they were thinking. The boot lid sits on top of that. Here's the boot lid. Even this thing's weird. Because it's been sitting for so long, the boot doesn't fit anymore. So I'm going to have to make it fit or make a new one. This is really old sticky tape residue. I couldn't get it off, which it doesn't really matter. It's got this funny line here, I don't like it. So I might use some of this boot lid to make a new one. I'll remove this. I'll put a inner lip in here for the boot to sit down into. A lot of work just for a boot lid, but I'll make it happen. Well, that looks much better. Cut that silly lip off. Just sitting on there. Just use an air saw. Made pretty. So stick that up under there, trim it, and that'll give me a nice inner boot lip. So I'd have to cut it in half. Make it longer, in both directions, and that'll give me a nice boot lip. Possibly. Or I can make one out of metal. Like a 2-layer sandwich type deal, just to bring it down enough. You can see where they laid the fiberglass. It's thick there, and it goes thin, and then thick again, and thin and thick. It's just inconsistent and not very good. The one I'm going to make is going to be sweet. So I'll get that sorted out and get back to you. Alright, so I've got the boot sitting pretty good in there now. Still needs a bit more of a trim. Got some repairs to do. I've filled in some of the holes. I'm going to trim the body to fit the boot lid. The boot lid is pretty straight, whereas the body isn't. Well, the cut in the body anyway. Underneath the boot lid I've put some steel to bend it back into shape. And then some wood holding the boot lid up so I can just mess around with it. Lots of tripping hazards under my feet. These are going to be the wheels for it. These are from Mini. There's also some other wheels. I like the Mini wheels better, but we'll see what happens. I've just gone around, built up some of the shoddy body work. My filling skills are woeful, but of course will be sanded off. It's coming along slowly. I've spent a lot of time messing around with this bloody boot lid, but it's getting there. It's looking much better than what it was with that silly lip on it. I've got the boot lid sitting in place, taped it up because it wants to slide this way a bit. I've got a mark, texture mark in there all the way around. I used this texture, it's a long nib marker. It's excellent for getting past things and into holes. If you use a normal texture, you try and get in there, you have to hold it on a weird angle because the nib isn't long. So one of these is excellent. There's no affiliation or anything with them. They just get them cheap from eBay. So I'm going to cut that out and fit the boot lid. Then I'll make the inner lip. But always wear safety gear. Okay, I'll show you where I'm at. This side fits pretty good. I think it's got the right curve in it. And then when that side's sitting flush, this side is up. And I'll get this side. The other side sitting up, this side fits perfect. So I've got a twist in it. So I'm going to try and work out how to get that twist out of it. It's an absolute pain in the butt. So I've had to put a couple more screws in it, a lot more slices. So I'm going to try and figure out how to get this twist out. This boot lid is turning into a major pain.